today I'm going to explain the first lab of the book, which is called the data generator. So the data generator is going to combine all the tools and the skills that you have learned so far to basically generate an application that listens to a specific port and execute the specific things. So how does it work? So we have two codes here. We have two codes here called data generator and the test data generator. So the data generator is a file that I have provided the skeleton for it, and you're going to complete it. And the data generator and the test data generator is the one that is going to send commands to the main data generator so that it would actually do a specific thing. So like before, you can think of this test data generator like the JSON sender, and the main data generator, it would be just like a JSON listener, with the difference that it would actually do something based on the commands that it receives. So how does it work? Let's just go through the tester, so it would actually explain what we're going to do. So we're going to send commands to a URL of a data generator, which is going to be listening to port 3000, and this is the Axio function that we sent before, very similar to that. And then we're going to send several type of messages: message type, a type of setting, or from type command. So the type of setting is that we basically telling the data generator to work in a specific way or to produce data in a specific way. For example, we say the message type is setting. We're going to say the data generation should be the type uniform, should have the minimum -10 and maximum 10, and then please produce them every 100 milliseconds. And then after a while, let's say we send a command and say delete all the data that you have produced so far. And then we're going to say start producing the numbers. And after 5 seconds, we're going to say stop. As you can see, I put them into this timeout, so meaning it would be executed after 5. So this part would be executed after 5 seconds. After 5 seconds, I would say stop. And after 6 seconds, which is 1 second after this, I'm going to fetch all the data, basically to see what random numbers have been generated. So here is where you would actually send all the data back, and the data generator would use all these tools, all these packages to do that. I'm going to go through them one by one. I'm going to explain things as you go. So if you see, we're going to use the express to listen. We're going to use another packet called data formatter. So you actually format the date, and then we would use the random to produce the random number. We use the clone, IP, and path that we used before. So just before, we have the express. It will listen to port 3000. We would have the timer object to produce data at the specific time intervals, and this is where these intervals are going to be used. Right? So this interval 100 would actually set this one to produce data in 100. So this is the timer object to take care of that. And then we have the array of random numbers. This is the random numbers that generated. And then we have the function data generator that we're going to fill to produce either uniform or normal distribution. And then we have the JSON setting, which we're going to use to basically save the setting that we receive, like this setting. And then you also use the EJS to also show the numbers on a web page if you have. So we listen to the get on /, and if we receive that, we're going to show everything that we have on this array of numbers, array of random numbers, and then we're going to show the last 20 numbers. So this is just meaning the last 20 numbers, and we're going to reverse it, meaning we would show the most recent one first, and then we're going to render a file, web page data generator EJS, and then we're going to pass on the data points to it. So here is the template of this XML file. So if I'm going to show it to you, it is going to be like this. Of course, I'm going to fill it. So welcome to the data generator website, and the data points at this time I produce this number, at this time produces this number. As you can see, this is the static website now. So we're going to make the EJS version of it, and of course, instead of showing static basically values, we're going to show we're going to randomly we're going to fill it with the data points. So here is again the JavaScript code. So for HTML data points, which I'm going to pass on through this HTML data point X1, which is all my random numbers, the last 20 of it. For each of them, I'm going to write the timestamp, and I'm going to write the data value. So it's very valuable that you compare this AJS file with this HTML file, because this is because we're going to use this technique throughout the course. And so this is going to show us what's going to happen on the display, and then we're also going to listen to the /JSON. If we receive the setting, if we receive the message type is setting, then we're going to clone the JSON setting, and then if the data generation distribution type is normal, we're going to assign function that produces random numbers with a normal distribution or with a uniform distribution according to the parameters that we receive here, and this is the one that you need to use. And then if the command is and if the message type is a command instead of setting, just like here, if the message type is command instead of setting. If it's a start, then we're going to clear the interval, which is this timer data object, because we can send several of them, and then we're going to generate random numbers, as you can see, and then we're going to push the newly generated random numbers to this array of random numbers. So here I'm going to send the data, the formatted data, and the data value. And here, as you can see, that I have 3 dummy variables, x1, x2, and x3. And here's how I'm going to use the data format, which is basically to change this x2, which is now, to a data format. If it's a stop, you have to. If it's a stop, I'm actually going to clear this interval, so I'm not going to write. I'm not going to generate more numbers. If it's a delete all data, I need to delete all the random numbers that have been generated. And if it's a fetch data, I have to send all the data points back. And if I receive a command that I don't know what it is, I say I don't know what it is, and I'm going to listen to this board. So let's see how it works, and then I'm going to show you the answer also, so you get some ideas what you should actually end up with if you do everything right. So let's first start up each new package. Node main data generator. So I'm listening to port 3000 and I'm waiting for command. I also have an active web page, so localhost 3000, and I can see I'm not producing any number, so I'm not showing anything, and the page is refreshed every 1 second. Now let's go and generate this test. So I'm sending this command and I'm receiving this command back from the generator. It says okay, and now I'm generating this value, and as you can see I generated only one number, although I said every 100 milliseconds you generated a number. It only generated one number, and the value is 0, which is wrong anyway. So but you should use it as a skeleton to complete this code. So you need to, as I said, you need to complete several sections of it. One, you need to generate this. You need to write this section for yourself, the uniform and random. You also need to write and complete this section, the start, the stop, and the delete all, and also the fetch command that she's showing here. I hope you enjoy this exercise, and I'm sure you will learn a lot when doing this. So enjoy the challenge and happy coding.